I'm Josh, and this past weekend I raced for SCCA Hawaii, and this was race number 3 for the 2023 season where I placed 7th in rookies. This is an improvement over last week, which I think I placed 12th or 14th. This pace was much faster. Pace from first place was about 3 or 4 seconds off, if I remember. I think he got a 45, and I don't remember the decimal. But basically, I'm getting a little bit better, hopefully. So what I want to do is, first time doing my own race analysis, and this is just going to be a short, hopefully short, observation of 3 or 4 points that I made with my driving. So we can go to the video. Let's go to review. Basically, we can view everything that went wrong. For this first view, we'll try not to speak over it too much, and I'll go over the 3-4 major points that I want to get over, and we'll see how this goes. First run.
Double single. Shoot, double, then single. Double, single. There you go. That's okay. Keep going. Push. Perfect. It's okay. Good. Rolling. There you go. Here's the race. Coming around. Shit. Very good. Looking at those cones again. Coming around. Going down. Back left. And now we're smooth. Go. There you go. Get in. Easy. There you go. Perfect. All right. Okay. And we relate on.
Okay. So yeah, decent run, I guess, for rookies. But it wasn't that great. First one that I want to get over is, let's first actually pull up this map. First major turns that I wanted to look at were the hairpins and the long sweeping turns. These yellow sections pretty much are where I wanted to look at. This hairpin was actually too bad in the video, so I didn't really focus on it too much. But in the video, let's go back. So coming into this hairpin right over here, on this second cone, coming out, where it narrows in from a 3-ish left to a 2-ish left. It comes down, narrows in, but it's not as smooth as I wanted it to be. I could smooth it out a little bit more. And the same thing goes for that crossing section over. So coming out of the hairpin, passing this cone, backside this one, this section could be a long sweeping turn. Instead of separating it and kind of cutting it off, squaring it off into whichever way I wanted to do it, what I was doing was coming in, square off, go out, and it didn't really apex it particularly. I could, instead is sweep around, apex onto that cone, and come straight into that gate, looking straight down. Because like I was talking before,
there you go. That's okay.
Made a recording before. This right here looks great. This looks great right here. Run 2, bottom screen, looks great. But you can see that I turn over too much. Same thing for run 3. Not as much. You can see it's a little bit better. This is a little bit more towards that other cone. But overall, I'm compensating a little too much for the turn because I'm not looking ahead. Had I looked ahead, I could have seen that as I was making that sort of apex, it wasn't really that much of an apex. I could have stopped right here, straightened out, and rocketed right into that chicane, or the S's, right-hand S's, after this gate. As we move forward, we're back. Right over here, coming into the gate, second gate, into the one left hairpin. Braking point right over here. am not looking ahead. And what happens? Right about here, looks great. Exit looks great because that cone right there is where I need to be in run 2. This is where I end up. It's too much, and it keeps going. So I have to compensate by turning right, and that just messes up my time this time. So turning in, it's a big issue. Next one is basically feet. As I'm looking at my feet cam, both top and bottom, so top is referring to run 3 the top, run 2 is the bottom. Okay, modulation over here, I don't really mind that. Coming to this hairpin is where my first mistake was. Mistake is being that I clutched in. Disengages it, kind of throws off the car off balance, I think. And what it does is that it makes my exit speed slow. Or it will. It's not making it that great of a habit. And what happens? In the chart, I drop down a little too much. Modulating over here, and what instead, in that long sweeping turn, I could just either stay on the throttle nice and smooth or stay off the throttle nice and smooth. It doesn't need to be jabbing it a little bit too much, but what I think that was going through my mind is that I wanted to stay in boost a little bit longer, and so I was trying to keep in boost, but it's not really working out if I'm just going to be going off and on the throttle. So I can try and stay in boost a little bit, 3 or 4 psi vacuum, and then once I get into that straight, right over here, stay. Don't have to go back and forth. Then come over here, get right on boost. Then I can chop straight through. Little tap over here, come into the S's. Alright, and shit flat out over here. Both top and bottom foot cams were going flat, so that was good. And then breakpoint over here. Top was a little bit earlier than the bottom. Don't need to heel till downshift. Cool, but not enough for time.
Very good. Looking at these cones again, coming around.
And who came out of the turn faster? Run 2 did. So no downshifting, try to stay in second, stay in boost a little bit longer. The last one is vision. Obviously, I was just not looking. Most of the time, I was just missing a bunch of things a little bit too much, and all of these little mistakes add up. They're all mistakes in general, and I want to avoid having to compensate, having to go back and forth, because, I mean, that's just losing time. It's pretty easy to look forward or look ahead if I'm conscious about it.
That clip, and now we're smooth.
Looking ahead.
Get in.
You have to finish.
Perfect.
These parts aren't too bad because it's towards the end and I know where the finish is going to be. Fourth point that I wanted to make was not necessarily in the driving, but in the recording. I wanted to make sector splits a little bit easier so I can figure out in between which sections I am losing time or gaining time in between runs. That might help me a little adjust a little bit more. Hopefully, see how it goes. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully race number 4 is gonna do a little bit better. Trying to just improve 1 second at a time, cut it down, get closer to first, because I just want to run a race. I want to run a race. Calendar. So it is now March 1st. Next race is going to be March 19th. That is going to be SCCA solo number 4, and hopefully I will be placing it at least a little bit better. It's kind of hard to go off of placements, but what I want to do is at least try to get a little bit closer to first place. There were too much of the heavy hitters in this one, so as far as like there was a Hellcat last week, Quadrifolio the other week, they were doing pretty well, but I still didn't do that well. So whatever the competition is going to be, I want to try and improve. Hopefully I can get closer to top 3. Be great to get first, but it's going to take a lot of work. Anyways, Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you at the next one.